Hello guys. Right, so how do you negotiate higher pay as a setter? Now I know like some of the structures can be crap. As a setter, you know, it's pay per sell on a 2K product and their closing rate is 10% and their show rate is 30% and they've got no leads. I get it. I've done all of that stuff myself, right? Eventually managed to figure it out to the point where I can land good offers and actually get paid high structures, working with people like Charlie Morgan and William Brown. I've done 5K a month as a setter. I've even hit 10K as a setter at my peak. I know what I'm talking about. Okay, I've done 2 million in cash collected, 6 figures in commissions. I can sit here and brag all I want. I'd rather just show you that I know what I'm talking about. So this is how you negotiate, right? Higher pay as a setter. Okay. So phase one, right? We need to get in right? And what this means is dropping your ego. Okay. And start on commissions only, for example, or free trial to prove yourself for 30 days. It's fine to start off on an offer like that as long as you know it's dialed in, right? We're going to get into that in a second, but like, drop your ego. So trying to hit 5K a month tomorrow. Start thinking, right, I'm willing to metaphorically eat crap for a month, right? To prove myself. Because once you've proven yourself, you have leverage. Now, if you're a setter that's a complete beginner, right, this is going to be your moat, basically, right? Because you don't really have any experience to work off of to use as leverage. Setters that do have experience, they can negotiate something a little bit higher, easier to start with, but still offer owners want to see how good you are before they're willing to pay you a lot of money, okay? So drop the ego and start on commissions only or a free trial to prove yourself in the beginning, okay? Now, to do that, you have to establish if it's actually a high ticket, right, offer with strong lead flow. Because here's the thing, if you're going to be paid commission only or doing a free trial and you're willing to accept that you have to eat crap for a month or so, that's fine, but only do that if the offer is dialed in, right? Is it high ticket of at least 3 to 4K, right? Have they got a good close rate of at least 20% across the board? Is their show rate decent? Do their calls actually show up? Is it like at least 60 to 70%? Do they have good lead flow? How long have they been operating for? How long has the business been, operating? Do they actually get results? Can they actually deliver what they say they do? They guarantee? Is it that outlandish to the point where they can actually, deliver it? Or is it something they're lying about? Their reviews? Just really do your due diligence on the company before you do free trial or commissions only, right? Do they have happy setters in the past? They have happy sales reps. What were the setters doing beforehand, right? And it's just really important that you see these businesses actually have the leverage to be able to pay you a lot of money, because there's no point in doing commissions only or a free trial for a company that's not really going to give you much anyway, right? Because the thing is with commissions only or free trial, there's 2 states of mind here, right? There's 2 mindsets that people have. It's either they want to do that because they can't afford to pay you a lot of money and they want to get cheap and free work out of you, right? Or the other thing is they can, but they want you to prove yourself before they actually give you a lucrative structure, right? And you need to be able to distinguish between the 2, okay? And the way you do that is you need to make sure it's high ticket with strong lead flow, good close rate, good show rate, good business, been operating for a long time, can actually get clients results, happy setters in the past, actually have credibility and authority in the space, right? You do that before anything, okay? You got to make sure this offer is, right? Now, here's the thing. If it doesn't have that, right, keep looking. Find a better offer because this one's not going to pay you a lot of money. It's super important that you do that. Walk away. There are offers out there that will pay you a lot of money, right? Cool. If yes, okay, is their close rate actually dialed? Now, we talked about that a little bit here, but is their close rate actually dialed in? Is it good? Have they got a good close rate, right? Do they have proof that they can actually close deals? Like, pay per sell is great until you work on an offer where they can't close deals, right? Because then you are reliant, you're relying on them to close, you're relying on them for money, basically, right? You're relying on their sales skills. And if they can't close, you're at the mercy of it, okay? So if their close rate isn't dialed in and it's crap and they haven't got proof to show you, right? Flag it and walk. Don't settle for a broken offer. Again, walk away and then reassess a new offer, right? With the mindset of dropping your ego, starting a commissions only for free, but make sure it matches that criteria and you're going to follow this, right? Is the close rate dialed? No, find a new one, right? Have they actually, got good lead flow and it's a high ticket offer? If no, find a new one, right? You're going to do that until you get it right, until you find one that is a high ticket offer with strong lead flow and has a dialed in close rate of at least 20%. Okay, cool. So if yes, right, what we're going to do is we're now going to go to phase 2. Okay, well, we're going to prove our value, right? So commit, perform at your absolute best for 30 days minimum, right? We're going to do it for 30 days as a free trial, right? Well, not necessarily a free trial, but it's a trial period where you could be doing free or you could be doing commissions only. I'd strongly recommend to do commissions only because free is just ridiculous, because commissions only, they're already not risking anything anyway. They're only going to have to pay you if you get the money, right? So as long as that offer is dialed in, commit and perform at your absolute best for 30 days and execute daily and track every single metric that you have, right? The amount of people that you actually speaking to, the amount of people that positively respond, the amount of people that actually send a calendar link to, the amount of people that actually book in, the amount of people that show, and if you can, the amount of people that close as well. Have that all ready. Now, if you want a sheet that I use that's responsible for me hitting $5,000 a month consistently when I was a setter, right? Follow and DM me on Instagram at AidenK Social, right? For my 5K a month tracking sheet that I'm going to give to you totally for free. Okay. Because this takes a while to build out yourself. And if you don't know how to build it or what you're looking for or what you're going to want to track, you're not going to know how to build this thing. So send me a DM on Instagram, right? Follow and DM on Instagram so I know it's you, right? And I will send you over this sheet that is pre-built for you that will help you track every metric so you can use it as leverage to actually make a lot of money in the long run on your offer and also book a lot of appointments when you're actually on the roll too. Okay, cool. Then after 30 days are up, we're going to move into phase 3, right? So we're going to leverage and level it up, right? So end of the month, bring your numbers to the table as leverage. Okay. So say to them, like, look, I've tracked all of the metrics. I've got all the people we messaged, all the people that positively responded, all the people that sent the calendar link to, all the people that booked in, all the people that showed, all the people that closed. You get the point, right? And show them, right? Look, this is what I've done after 1 month, right? I want to have something better now. I want to work on something a little bit more lucrative. I've gotten you these results. The show rate was really good. The close rate was good, right? You closed a lot of clients, you did this much in cash. I'd love to negotiate something more lucrative, if that's okay, right? I'd love to negotiate something else. Now here, I'd recommend that there's a few ways you could do it. So you could do a base salary. You could ask for a base salary or a pay per appointment structure. If you do a base, never do a base by itself, right? I'd either ask for, right? Now, this is the most common to be able to use and actually not get away with. It sounds like I'm using it in a bad way though, but the most common way for you to get like a decent structure that's going to pay you a lot is base plus commissions on the close. They'll be fine with that. Okay. Because here's the thing, right? You've got to be like commissions on the close is hard to keep a setter hungry, right? Because then they're reliant on so many other things. So a base of like a 1K and then 5% commissions on the close makes sense if it's a high ticket offer. And you have proof that they can close deals, right? But I go for like a base salary plus commissions on the close or 5%, right? Or base salary plus pay per appointment structure. That could be pay per appointment booked, as in like qualified call booked, or pay per show. Okay. Now, if you can see that they have like, I don't know, they have like an 8K product, right? Their closing rate is 30%. Their show rate is 70%. Let's say you're booking them 100 calls per month, right? 60 to 70 of them show, right? And 30% of those close, right? And let's say, I'm trying to do maths in my head now, right? Basically, that's a good structure and you can make a lot of money doing that, right? So base plus commissions for you would actually be really good, right? But I'd always try and get a pay per show or pay per appointment as well. Now, it's going to be dependent on how well you perform in the 30 days, what you can actually negotiate, right? But I'd always recommend like a base plus commissions on the close, or base plus pay per appointment or pay per show. Or you could even do, for example, you've seen they have good lead flow. You could be able to judge this based on how you've performed on the role as well to see if the company's actually decent enough or not. Or you could do pay per appointment plus pay per close, or pay per show plus pay per close, or you could just do flat out pay per appointment or pay per show, right? Now you can gauge this from how well you performed and tracking your metrics. That's why it's really important to have that sheet. Again, follow and DM me on Instagram at AidenK Social and it's yours. But now you can ask for something like that. Now what makes the most sense to these guys is as much commission based as possible. Now these guys a lot of the time aren't necessarily against the base salary, but commission only, right? Commission only kind of like structures really, appeals to them because they only pay you if you perform. So a pay per appointment or pay per show plus pay per close. If you've seen you can book a lot of appointments and they can actually close a lot of deals, pay per appointment and pay per show, or pay per show plus pay per close, or pay per appointment plus pay per close, they can be very lucrative, but you're going to judge that based on how well you've done, right? So I'd recommend to do something like that. And you're going to have that leverage once you perform for 30 days and you have the leverage of the tracking sheet and everything like that, because they can see that you're dialed in. They can see that you think with metrics and not emotion. And that looks really good and much better than the average setter. Okay. Cool. Now, by that point, hopefully the deal is secured. If not, we're going to secure a testimonial regardless of the outcome of how well you've done in the 30 days. Now, if you guys can't come up with a fair structure, which I'm sure you will be able to, right? But let's say you perform really well, get a testimonial regardless of the outcome, and then you can use that as leverage for a better offer down the line. Okay. Then level up, rinse and repeat, move up or move on, right? Move up to a new one, move up to a new structure, right? Get paid better, or move on with the leverage of what you perform for this guy and the testimonial, right? To land a better offer, and you're going to follow the same process. And hopefully, because you got your first testimonial, you're not necessarily you're not, quote unquote, a beginner anymore. You can have so much more leverage to be able to find a new role where you don't necessarily have to do comms only or a free trial to prove yourself, right? But the way you negotiate it, you have to have leverage, right? You have to have either experience in the realm, which makes it easier to negotiate a higher payment structure. Or if you're a complete beginner, you perform well for 30 days, you track every metric using the sheet that I'm going to give you. Again, follow me and DM me on Instagram at AidenK Social for it, right? And you're going to use that all as leverage to say, look, I booked you this many calls, we closed this amount of deals, I've tracked every single metric. This is the quality of work, right? And quality of results you're going to get with me every single day working with my services, right? Let's figure out something a little bit more fair, right? Can we do, for example, base salary plus pay per close? Could we do pay per appointment plus pay per close? Could we do pay per show plus pay per close, right? A base salary kind of range would be something like $500 to 1K, right? A pay per appointment range, qualified booking call, would be something like, now this depends on how high ticket the price is, but you've got to be doing at least 3 to 5K minimum for like a high ticket price. Wouldn't do like 1K or 2K because then you're not even really needed. They could just put that on a buy now page or use a crap AI bot, right? So like typically, right, it's like 40 to 50, 30 to 50 per qualified booked call, because then you have no kind of control of the show. So 30 to 50 is a bit less. And then per show is like 50 to 70 per call, right? And yeah, per close is typically 5% commissions. Now, you could also do something like, could we do a pay per appointment plus commissions only model? But let's do, for example, pay per appointment of 40 per call or 50 per call, right? And then you pay me an extra 20 if they show. That makes actually quite a lot of sense, because then you can actually track how much money you're going to make. You book on a call, right? Great. 40 quid, 50 quid, right? Oh, they've showed as well. Okay. Now that's 70, right? Oh, they've closed as well. That's an extra 300 quid. Great. That lead there has just made me £370, right? Like, you got to remember, these guys want commissions only structures because it's less risk for them. But in the 30 days of working with them, for example, as a beginner, you can be able to see what their close rate is like, their show rate, everything, their lead flow. And then even just a base plus commissions is going to be lucrative for you, right? Or you could take it one step further. You know, their show rate is good. They know their lead flow is good. You could do pay per appointment plus a bit more for the show and then 5% commissions. And then you're framing yourself as totally commission based. Does that make sense? But you would know that you can get away with that and actually make a lot of money because you've spent 30 days seeing their metrics, tracking with that sheet that I gave you, right? So you guys, that's how you do it. That is the process for negotiating higher payment structures, even as a total beginner that doesn't know what they're doing, right? That's how you do it. Now, if you want my personal one-to-one help, right, guiding you through how to do this with me holding your hand and showing you how to land a high ticket appointment setting role in 60 days minimum, right? Guaranteed. There's going to be a link down below in the description to book on a call with me, and I'll run you through exactly how I can help you one-to-one as somebody that is still an appointment setter to this day. I have a large network of people that need setters. I have some really, really, really good methods of landing roles, and I can train you to an elite level. I have a 17-year-old doing $3,000 a month, right? On a dialing role right now. I have a guy called Josh. You can view his testimonial on my page. You can view Ivan's as well, which I'm going to upload this week. He's doing $3,000 a month as a DM setter for a fitness offer, and he's just brought his sister on to help him out for the extra volume, and he's taken a little bit of a cut on her commissions. This is what you can do and the results you can get when you learn from someone who's still in the game, right? I still do what I teach. I still practice what I preach. So if you want my personal one-to-one help helping you to do this, helping you land a high ticket role like those guys in 60 days guaranteed, book in that call down below and I'll run you through exactly how I can help you.